Hello, YouTube. How you doing? It's me, Miss J, North Coast Trash Queen of Glam, Geek, and Gore. And here I am once again, Janessa J. There I am in the Champagne Dreams Productions home office. How are we doing? This is so close up. I sometimes don't realize how close up it is, especially when I've still got titties on and big hair. So, hello, how are we doing? Happy Saturday night live stream. I hope everybody's doing well. I took this week off to drive home after the show. And I am not good at figuring out how to realign it. So the wig's not going to stay on very long because we are going to de-drag. We're going to de-stress. Hello, China. How are you doing? Yes, it's Sunday for you. It's already Sunday. Hello, Laura. How are you doing? Geese Police, my niece from Greece. Hello. How are you doing? Hello, Dawn. How's it going? Yes, so I got back from Uncle Louie's big sad funeral, night 2. Tonight, I won. I was the winner. I was the last one standing. I did not get murdered, but then, of course, Louie comes back. That's the big surprise at the end of the show, is that Louie is not actually dead. And so he comes back to rewrite his will. And so Contessa Ilaria Sagittario was so close to getting all of the money. But I did not get any money because Louie was still alive. But we did have a good time. I haven't heard the final numbers. I'm very excited. We had 87, I think was the final count for people. So pretty excited for tonight. Last night was like 70 something. So I think we're doing, this wig is so crooked right now. What is going on? Let's take it off. You've seen the hair. It's beautiful. It's fabulous. Let's take a look at this look. I'm living for this look. This was with the Nomad Cosmetics Greek Odyssey palette. These lashes are already like fighting me, and so they're probably going to come off real fast. Yes. Hello, everyone. Everyone's saying hello. I love that. Yes. So here we are. Let's go ahead and peel these lashes off. First of all, ow, there's always one spot where they want to stick and pull off my eyelid. Oh, there we go. So excited to de-drag. So excited to de-drag. Oh, there we go. I've got my like lesbian mohawk situation going on. I'm loving it. This is why I was like, when they said, I think we'll go out for the tap room afterwards. And I was like, then I'm bringing a change of clothes because if I take my wig off, it looks like this. So we're going to bring an extra dress. We'll bring some cute jewelry. I'll paint my face. Your eyelids hurt from that. I know there's always like one spot. There's one spot. Oh yeah, I'm very excited to get into my jammies tonight. Very excited. But let's see what we've got. We've got some. I keep, the one thing that I did absolutely forget was I forgot to grab another jar of. I've still got the like empty jar that I'm toting around of the Blend Bunny Unveil. But I do have the micellar water, so it's going to work out for us. It's going to be great. So let me see what I've got. I've got a wig head for that wig. Yeah, I'm so excited for my PJs. It's going to be so comfortable. I'm here for it. I also have randomly, this was, so after we were done with our show, we got invited to stop into the Urban Stampede, which is this coffee shop. They were having a 7-course tasting meal fundraiser. And I don't know who did the food, but it was delicious. And so we got to go and have free food. Well, not exactly free because I did give a donation. But we didn't have to pay like the ticket price or whatever. I gave a $25 donation to buy raffle tickets. But then like somebody brought they had a ton of leftovers. And so somebody just brought this to the tap room. This is, let me change it to all messages. This is like a ratatouille. And so it's like a carrot and tomato. I don't know what ratatouille is exactly. I'm not fancy, and I was too old for that kids movie Ratatouille, so I don't really know what it is. But I'm very excited because I have 5 of them that were left on our table. Any new productions I'm working on? No, because as people may know, if you follow me on Facebook, I did just get fired from Dakota Outright. Which is a whole thing. We're working on it. I don't know. I'm certainly not going to be involved in Pride in Bismarck this year. I don't know if I will. We're going to see how things go. We're going to see. I don't know if I will be involved with their group in the future. They certainly got the message loud and clear. that people were not happy with the way that I was unceremoniously fired for being too political for a queer performance group. Because apparently I used the word Republican and little maggot closeted gays get their fifis hurt. So, so there's nothing I'm working on. One of my favorite movies because I love rats. It's about a rat who takes control of a chef and makes amazing food. Yeah, I know the broad strokes of it, but I don't know if they explain what ratatouille is in there. I know it has carrots, and that one has a slice of tomato on the top. So I don't know if that's usual. I think it's like a carroty casserole, something like that. Hello, CJ. Hello, Dion. Welcome. We are getting ready to de-drag. I've got my this, like, I always want to call it the lesbian mullet, but it's not a mullet because it's not long in the back. It's shaved in the back too, but it's I love that my hair gets more and more lesbian all the time. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If I could be lesbian, if the world were only fair and just, I could be lesbian, but I cannot. I cannot. Oh, it's too much. Everybody's saying hello. I love that. So let's go ahead and get a makeup wipe. Again, because I just have that janky empty. Do I have an extra? I've got extra makeup wipes here, but I think I took the other ones. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it forever. To be a born lesbian. Yeah, people are like, you like men? And I'm like, let's be very clear on the terminology here. I may be attracted to men. That does not mean I like them, generally speaking. So let's be clear about that. Does my skin color? I mean, she's had a couple ales tonight. She's not fully under the weather, but does your skin tolerate makeup wipes scented with lavender? It does. My skin generally likes lavender. I have like a witch hazel thing that I like, Thayer's, that I sometimes use that has lavender. I've bought like makeup wipes that are scented with lavender before. I kind of like them. So yes, I think most of the time I would say yes, it does. And my eyes kind of settled down. So I don't think that Essence mascara, I don't know if I just got something. I'm always painting too close to my eyes. So maybe I just got something in my eyes that made them itch. But yeah, so it doesn't seem to be the Essence. I don't necessarily mind men unless they're the type of man makes me pay attention to their shenanigans. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I get it. I know you're excited about it. I know you're excited about golf or crypto or fantasy football. Like I can't listen to it. I can't. That's my troubles because I like the butch ones. I'm here for like just a butch, burly, muscle bear kind of man, and then he wants to talk to me about cars and like the fantasy football draft. I can't do it. Oh, awesome, because I have a pack in your well, thank you. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm not excited. And I know that I have lots of things that they're probably not excited about. And it is a give and a take and blah, 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 blah. I know, but I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it. I swear to God, if one more, I don't know what it is with the white queers that are suddenly all about Bitcoin and like crypto. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Please stop. Please stop. I just am loving this mug. The lip is kind of coming apart. The lip is a little bit tragic. That Maybelline super, like the Superstay ink, if you watched my previous live where I got ready, I think that the Superstay lip ink that I have is getting old. I think I've had it for a few years. And so I probably should look at trying to repurchase that color. And then the About Face lipstick that I put over it kind of broke it down. And so it's a little bit like it's been a little bit, it looks fine. Like it looks okay. I could probably get away with it. But if you get up close, it's pretty chunky monkey and broken apart. Sometimes that man babbling, it's okay if I'm in the right mood because it's almost like listening to a toddler talk about dinosaurs. Exactly. Sometimes they're so proud of their little interests and it's cute for a time, but I have to be in the mood. I have not liked a released show in a long time. I really liked Mom. That's the most recent new show that I've been watching. Things have been a little crazy, and so I haven't had as much time for watching stuff. and especially new stuff. I've been keeping up with Days of Our Lives. I've kind of given up on Young and the Restless and Beyond the Gates. Like I follow some of those people on Instagram, and so I get little updates and I'll watch little clips, or sometimes like a news article comes across my my peripheral vision or whatever. But I've had to give up. I'm so sad about it. Young and the Restless. I like it because there's a lot of people that I liked from Days that have left Days and are now on Young and the Restless. So I like that. Like Stacey Heideck. I like her. Chad Demiro, what's his name? Billy Flynn is on there. Tamara Braun is on there. Lucas Adams is on there. So people that used to be on Days are now on Young and the Restless. And Beyond the Gates is just good. It's just good. It's so good. It's like, it hasn't gone full soapy where like people are getting resurrected from the dead. Like it's just good soapy drama, and there's clearly money behind it. The acting is all superb. It's a bunch of beautiful people in rich people settings, and like it's total escapist fantasy, and there's beautiful men to look at, and the acting is really good. There's really interesting people on there. There's a couple, like with every soap opera, there's a couple that get a little too hammy. But overall, it's so good. And I love Beyond the Gates, but the last time I watched it, they were talking about a Halloween dance coming up. And so I'm like, bitch, you're never going to catch up. It's not going to happen. So I either have to just like it, which sucks because I loved that I had seen it from the beginning. Like I'd seen it from the first episode. And so like that, you can't say about any other daytime drama because they've all been on for 50 years or whatever. And so like this one, for a while I could say that I had seen it from the very first episode, but yeah, I love a little crazy soapy drama. So this is the Blend Bunny, their micellar water, the Vanishing Act. This is the Vanishing Act micellar water, and I just put it into a makeup wipe. And so I'm just kind of going over, taking things off pretty well. I have to remember high school. What is high school? Oh, I will disagree with the man interest being very self-conscious about my specific interests I like to yap about. It was the message that stumped my socializing pretty hard till mid to late high school. Oh, because it ran out of space. I think there's more the fact that men aren't raised right, and there's more disrespect expected. Yeah. There's something about it of just like, there's some things, and I don't mind them talking about any interest, but it's the specific ones like golf. Oh my God. And I know my uncle is really into golfing, and God bless him, but I have no interest. I have no interest. I think that golf, I do not understand why people like it. It just is so, I don't get it. And it would be one thing if you were like walking around a course and just like having your time in the out of doors or whatever. And I think my uncle, for the most part, kind of does that. Maybe he has a golf cart now, but it's just like riding around on a golf cart. You hit a ball and then you go drive after it. Jesus. Oh, I can't take it. And then they want to tell you about it. They want to tell you about how their golfing went and Bitcoin. Please stop. And this goes for men or women. If women, I've never heard a woman talk about Bitcoin. I'm so sorry. I know this is gender stereotyping. I've never heard a woman talk to me about Bitcoin ever. And I don't imagine I ever will. That's such a it's too much. Golf is so dull. I don't get it. Hello, Kayla. Oh yeah, it jumped a little bit. So I get that, Laura. I think finding people similar. Yeah, finding people, and I don't mind if a partner has different interests than me. I just want them to be better, different interests. No golf, no Bitcoin, none of that. I just can't do it. I don't want to hear about your fantasy football. I do not give a shit. I do not give a shit about fantasy football either. I love walking aimlessly whilst waiting in nature. Then I hit the ball occasionally. I don't. Oh, you could just walk in nature. Like we don't have to bring a ball and like a whole, there's like accoutrement. There's like a bag of weapons that you have to bring with you. I just walk, just go to a park. I don't know how to help anybody. Like just go. There's such a waste of resources. They're so environmentally like damaging to our planet. Although now with AI, go ahead and golf. Who gives a shit? Because now the data centers are going to take all the water anyway. That's what I'm excited. I'm excited for the like rich guy meltdown when it finally starts to affect them. When finally the data centers have drank up so much water that it starts to affect the golf courses. That's the only time we're going to get any movement on this, is when it starts to affect. Hanging in my bed with my purring cat. Oh, Kayla, I love that. Love the makeup. Thank you. Talking about how they kind of bully each other to show. Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand Bitcoin. I found golf peaceful to nap when I was younger. The quiet clapping, the low voices, they call that ASMR these days. Absolutely. Okay, so the detriment was not my point. Girl, gal. I do love staying at the house on the golf course, though. I love people watching. I hate, AI. Oh, God. I just need that bubble to burst. But unfortunately, that's one of the only times that like things start to happen, is when the rich assholes who are doing most of the bad shit, when it starts to affect them too. And so like when the golf courses start to die off, or they have to all go to like AstroTurf, God forbid, because the data centers need all the water, I guess maybe then they'll like step in and do something. Let's stop paying taxes. I like that. The problem is I can't stop paying taxes because I don't have the choice. Like my taxes are taken out through my workplace, so like I don't even have the structure. Like the logistics are not in place for me to not pay taxes. It's so frustrating. AI is so stupid. I'm so tired of AI, and I'm so tired of hearing about it. Because I've started to see some articles where like even in some of these meetings, like executives are starting to talk about the fact that this AI bubble is going to burst. It's going to, because as much as they try to argue about it, and I'm one of those people, I'm not like 100% anti-AI. I think there's some uses for it. And I also just think it's inevitable. I think that we are at a point where there's no putting, like, all of the miseries are not going to hop back in Pandora's box. It doesn't work like that. And I think that there are some things that it is useful for. And if you don't like overuse it, it doesn't have such an impact on the planet. You can there's ways to moderate it, and they're working on new technology to make it less environmentally disastrous. But it can't create anything new. It can't create anything new. It can take all the shit that's been pumped into it, and it can mash it together in different ways, and that's what it can do. It cannot create anything new. It cannot make anything that is new and original and different. It can only create new permutations of the shit that it has in it. And like these info ones, so they're trained on a set of data. Well, the minute you finish training it, that data starts to age immediately. The next headline, not in there. The next news story, not in there. It's just ridiculous. Let's see. As a collective, the many against the few will work. Yeah, I always think about those people who are like, eat the rich, and I'm like, we don't even have to eat all of them. I think if we started with one, I think that would make an impression. I think if we had a couple, like 4 or 5, I think once we've eaten 4 or 5 of the rich, I think it would send a message. I wish I could convince everyone to quit their jobs outside of government. Yeah, if there was a way to do it. Yeah, AI, it's inevitable. It's not going anywhere. It's the miseries are not going back in the box. They're just not. It was already used in its uses. No worries. Self-created. Oh, hi, Kayla. Sorry, my attention was a bit divided. Self-created here was meant for small. And I saw a really interesting article that was talking about the fact that they're starting to realize that public opinion is turning against AI in a very large way. And so part of what they're doing is you start to get these messages that will try to make you think of things like C-3PO and R2-D2 and all of your favorite little like robots in pop culture and stuff. And they try to like make you think of that kind of stuff. because that is like people have good feelings about it, right? Like nobody hates R2D2. Who the fuck are you? What is wrong with you if you hate R2D2? I need to know that. And I mean that to anybody. If there's anybody in this chat that hates R2D2, we're going to have a conversation after this is over, because that little beeping robot, that little sassy motherfucker, like, he's so fucking adorable. What's wrong with you? He's so cute. But they try to make you think of that because you have good thoughts about that, because you have good impressions of this hair is not going to get any better. I don't know what I think I'm trying to do. It's not going to get any better. I had a really rough day with taking slurs and prejudice from like every corner of YouTube, apparently. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. R2, he's all right. He's so cute. He's so adorable. And I didn't even mind BB-8. And I know that BB-8 was just like R2D2 2.0. He was a riff on that. There was nothing like new, but that's the point. It was supposed to be like a new version, a new iteration. C-3PO. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to tug on the heartstrings and make you think of like your favorite cute robots. And it's just like, it's not that. Like ChatGPT is not a cute little beep bop robot. Let's see. I'm gonna eat. I had one of these at the little event. These little these tomato slices look really good for some reason. Okay. Let me just, I don't know how I'm supposed to eat this in a dress. I will say the one thing about that fundraiser is that with all the little food, so it was 7 courses, 7 of these little tasting courses, they gave you these like little bamboo forks. It must have been biodegradable. I'm sorry, Greta Thunberg. I just fuck off with those bamboo. It was so terrible. It did not work. I was like, I'm sorry, I know the planet's dying, but please stop. What's going on? How do I eat this? Okay, let me pull out the little. I love a good tomato. Okay, let me see if I can. That was good. That was fucking good. I can like cook to feed myself, and there's some things that I make that I think are really, really fucking good. But sometimes, like, I don't know enough about like mixing ingredients and like mixing sauces and spices and things like that. So sometimes when I have something that's that simple, that's just like tomato and carrot and like, I don't even know what's in there, but it's so good. Yeah, they're doing it to make us feel bad. Exactly. At some point, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be. The world should just. Can we just turn it in? Can we be done? I carry chopsticks in my purse because of those sorts of Civil War. Yeah. What is that? Because at least when I was in Seattle the last time, it's been a few years now, but all of the places had this like, it was biodegradable, but it felt like a plastic spoon or fork or whatever. And so it felt like a regular plastic. It was a little bit bendier, but it was biodegradable. That bamboo shit, I was like, it's like paper straws. I'm sorry, turtles. I'm so fucking sorry. But you know what? I just need a plastic straw because those paper straws are garbage. Garbage. I'm in North Dakota. All of us and all the turtles would be long dead before any straw that I eat from, drink from, will ever make it to the ocean. So I'm sorry. I know that makes me a grumpy old Gen Xer. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. I love tomatoes, but I was just telling my mom we won't be having any for a while. The price is ridiculous. I've thought about, I'm terrible at gardening, but I've thought about having a couple pots of just maybe like some tomato plants, a couple little things just to have a little extra stuff. But remember, any waste issues is almost entirely based on a giant corporation. True. And I will say that like no individual persons, because I hear that a lot, and it's true to a point, because they'll say like, I can reduce my consumption, but that will never like compare it to what a corporation is, which is true. And some of it the corporations are doing as part of their operations. And now with AI data centers, I mean, it's true, but it's also being done because regular people are using Chat GPT and shit like that. So like the corporations are doing it, and the corporations build the data centers, and the data centers are the problem. But the data centers wouldn't be there if you regular people weren't asking Chat GPT for every aspect of their lives. So like, and like people are talking about fast fashion, like, oh, it's Shein's problem. Shein wouldn't be a problem if everybody wasn't buying their cheap ass Shein. And I get that there's like economic disparities, and sometimes people can only afford fast fashion, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of people who could afford to not buy fast fashion, not buy as much fast fashion, but they don't because it's cheap and they like to. And so like once you add up all the individual people doing all that shit, so like corporations are doing it because we consume it as well. So like some of it is just the corporations doing their own business, but some of it is also like people doing the bad shit that corporations are putting out there for us. Let's see. Oh, the chat is going so fast I can't keep up. Especially the fact that they love to waste tons of food to make sure they're not overcooked. Yeah, and the way that they want things to throw, I get it. Like I worked at a bookstore, and so like when we had mass market paperbacks, so like these sort of little paperbacks, if you were going to return these, it wasn't even worth it to them for you to send them back the book. So you had to rip off the cover and send the covers back, and that's how you got credit for them. And then it was in the contract with the bookstores that these had to go in the garbage. Now, of course, regular people in bookstores, we were stealing these all the time. We were always taking them out. But technically that could get you in big trouble because it was in the like Walden books, like with their contract with Ingram, was that you had to throw these in the compactor. Because what they didn't want people doing is like hiding something so that it wouldn't sell, ripping off the cover and taking it home. Like I get that they think, but I'm like, who's doing that? People are like, they're ripping off a cover and they're like, I'd maybe read this. It was a book they were never going to buy anyway. But then they're like, nobody's waiting until we're ripping the cover off to like then take it. It was not happening. But that kind of thing. And like food, instead of donating it somewhere, they always just want to throw it away. And then like some places, then they'll throw stuff away and then they'll try to put like detergent and shit on it so that people can't dumpster dive. If you're throwing it away, don't fucking worry about who's going into your dumpster. Don't worry about it. A lot of those very sturdy silver. Yeah, the sturdy silverware is good. That's fine. Glass isn't recyclable in the USA. They wait. Yeah, and plastic recycling, 5% of the stuff that goes into the recycling system of plastic is actually recycled. So it's a myth. It's stupid. Paper straws are awful. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have no luck growing tomatoes. Oh, no. I tried those upside down. Did you ever have those upside down? What were they called? A topsy-turvy? I tried that, and it was kind of a mess, and I did get a few tomatoes, but it didn't go well overall. Corporations have made the consumer the enemy. Yes. I'm kind of scattered. No problem, CJ. Don't worry about it. We're a friendly group here. If you forget, it's all right. They're asking to become less questions are necessary. You're asking that because less questions were necessary over there. Yeah, people are more aware now. That's one of the like, I guess one of the bright spots of social media. That's why so many things are starting to come to light. It's not like these things weren't happening before. It's that now everybody has a fucking camera and computer and live studio in their pocket. And so you can't get away with like police brutality and shit like that because, oh, there's somebody there with a camera recording you being a racist asshole. More people question it. Yeah, so people are starting to question. They're starting to hopefully hold people accountable, although I'm still waiting for that. The Epstein files have not turned in the Epstein trials, and I don't understand what that's about. Yeah, I saw a meme that was so perfect because it was a picture of Dan Quayle, and they're like, do you remember years ago when Dan Quayle couldn't spell the word tomato correctly? And people decided that that was enough that he shouldn't be president. They're like, why don't we go back to that? And I'm like, you're onto something there. You are onto something. Oh, that's why the front page of most comics is one single picture. It's like a second cover. Yep. Their covers off for periodicals return. Yeah, magazines, comics, they did the same thing. You just rip the cover off and send it back in. You're supposed to throw them away. I think we got a few good seasons in hometown. Beat had an amazing year a few years back. Is my reference. Oh, I don't know what you mean. Got a few good seasons. Are you talking about like gardens? I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Yeah, this world, good gardens. Yeah, I would love. I just hate being outside. I hate. Look at this. Look at this alabaster skin. This is not meant to be in the sun. I run from my air conditioned house to my air conditioned car to my air conditioned office. I try to spend as little time. If I have to choose between hot and cold, I'll be cold. Winter, as awful as it gets and as much as it drags on, I would much rather it be winter than summer. I love spring. Could we have spring for more than 15 minutes? That would be lovely. That would be a nice change, but I would prefer to be cold. When it's hot, I just cannot, like, even the act of going outside and then having to weed, get the fuck out of here. I already planted, like, I paid for seeds that I planted or for plants that I planted. And now you're telling me that other plants are just going to grow there and I have to get rid of them? That's my job. That's my job now. So paying money for something now gives me another job? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I hate it. I want to go to farm there and weld as long as the air is there at the end of the day. Yeah, and that's welding. That's the kind of thing that you can't farm out to AI. So like, I need to stop working for corporate America and I guess learn how to be a plumber, because that's plumbers and electricians and I could go back and live in Bowells because there's none of those services nearby. So I could like make bank if I did like a large, like a course. Maybe I could learn a little bit of plumbing and a little bit of electricity and like a little bit and just enough. We don't have to go real deep. I don't have to do the big jobs. If you need a contractor, you get a contractor. But I could do little like fix your toilet and like wire a switch in your kitchen. Like that. That's what I should do. And I just, because I'm so tired, this corporate AI, people just talk to me about AI just constantly. And the thing is that, and I will say this, and I usually, again, anything I say about my job or whatever is my opinion. I do not represent the company. And really the company that I work for doesn't matter because they're doing this at all companies. This is like the corporate world right now and it sucks. Is that I've always felt like my company was pretty good. I felt like they were innovative and they were doing interesting things. And I felt like they had a good philosophy and I was kind of on board with it. And now, like, they've thrown all of that out the window with all of this AI bullshit, every single bit of it, because there is no logical, useful, thoughtful approach to AI. It's just use it more. Have you used it 7 times today? Why not 13? Like, it's just like a fire hose, constant. And now I can see, because I make like the training videos and I make that kind of stuff. They're starting to realize that number 1, people have AI fatigue. Number 2, that people are not buying it. And number 3, that it's not as effective as they thought it was going to be. And number 4, that it's not making them money. And so we're starting to we're having to do all this programming about like change management and like managing emotions through change, because they know that it's not giving them what they want. They still hope that they're going to get to a point that it's useful, but they need to make sure that everybody doesn't get pissed off and quit in the meantime. Because that's when it's all really going to just fall apart, is if they have such a brain drain because they've just like fire hosed it. But it makes no sense because they keep like every day there's a new tool, and like they will get so obsessed with like, this is the tool of the moment, use this tool. So if you've already got an AI tool that you're using because they're telling you have to use AI, and you pick a tool and you learn it and you're working with it and it's doing the job that you need it to do, then they're mad at you because, well, you haven't switched to this tool. Why the fuck would I switch to that tool when I've got a tool that does the thing that I need it to do? Well, because this is the new tool. Okay, then I'm going to learn that tool. And in a month, there's going to be another new tool. That's already happening. So like, we had one tool that everybody used. And let me tell you, people went hard because leadership was like, use this tool, use it. You will use it or you will die. Like, not really, but about that. And everybody used it and then they deprecated it because they're like, oh, now we've got this tool. Well, now I'm already starting to hear rumblings about that tool is getting replaced by another tool. So everybody like who was on this tool had all this trauma where everything had to get like rearranged and redone and reconfigured for this new tool. Now that tool is going to go away. And I'm just like, nobody, as many smart decisions as we have made in other areas in this company, to suddenly like everything is just it's just like without any plan, without any thought, without any purpose. It's like just do it to do it. Just do it to do it. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to be part of that. Kayla, have a good night. Have a fabulous night. Let me catch up on where I'm at. Good gardens. Yeah, that's okay. I have an opinion that AI is meant to replace the bottom of the bell curve. Yeah, they're trying to. That's what I don't get is they're trying to replace all of the entry level jobs. Well, it's always been a problem that they're like, oh, we sometimes have trouble hiring for people who have the appropriate experience. How are they going to get the experience that you need if we eliminate all of the entry level jobs? How's that going to work? Because if you're only doing the like more advanced things, how do they get that advanced? How do you do that? It doesn't happen. Like, do you not? And the other thing that I don't get is that so many of these companies, at the end of the day, they make things that have to be sold to people. Whether it's computing services, cloud services, whether it's buying your like Prime delivery, buying shit from all over the place, if you eliminate everybody's job so that the like everything can be run by AI, because it's not one company, all the companies are trying to do this. Well, if you eliminate all these jobs because you're all making it so you rich assholes can make more money, who is buying the shit? At some point the system breaks down. Like, it's not sustainable, because eventually everybody's like, well, go get another job. And it's like, well, like my company just laid off 30,000 people. So like those 30,000 people are now in the workforce, and we're not the only company doing layoffs. There's everybody in the tech world, these big business are all doing layoffs. So like they're like, well, new jobs are going to be created. Well, not with you, because you didn't retrain people to do new AI based jobs. And now we're also having to like, the other thing we're having to make videos about is about using common sense with AI, because they've been like berated so much to use AI, use it, everything, and then do 50,000 other things, because AI is going to make you so productive that now we're going to heap a bunch of other work on top of you. So people don't have time to be babysitting and double checking these AI tools. Well, then the AI tools just make shit up, and they do it wrong, and I mean, the biggest one, this is the one that killed me, because I sometimes, and I get it, I know that this is lazy or whatever, but my phone was charging and I didn't know what time it was. And so I was sitting at my desk, and my computer was open so I could see the time, and it said it was like 10:19 a.m. And so I was like, I have my little Echo speaker, and I said, Alexa, what time is it in London? So it's 10:19. And I don't know the exact number, so I probably get the time wrong. But so she said, it's 5:24 in London. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Time zones go in increments of an hour, except there's one around India that's half an hour. That always weirds me out too, because we have people who are like on either side of that line. And so when I'm trying to schedule meetings, it's my nightmare, because there is a time zone that only changes by like half an hour. It's either by half an hour or by an hour and a half. I don't know which one it is, but so like it'll be like 11 o'clock, and then over there it'll be 12:30. And I'm like, what? But this was like a 5-minute difference. And so then I asked again, and I was like, Alexa, what time is it in London? And she's like, it's 5:24 in London. And now she stays lit for a little while, and she listens for you if you have any follow-up questions. And I said, are you sure? Because it's 10:19 right now in Central Time. Shouldn't it be 5:19? And she's like, oh, thanks for catching that. Yes, it's 5:19 in London. And I was like, that's the kind of simple, stupid shit that like it should be able to get right, and it gets that wrong. So can you imagine all of these people who are so tired, they're just putting shit through? People are like leadership, and like people are making decisions about the data that's in here. And in many cases, nobody's checking it. Nobody's double checking it. Or we could have done it ourselves, and now we're having to like babysit the AI, because we have to like, we could have just, And in some cases, I know that as it improves, it'll get better or whatever. Right now, there's so many things that I do that if I had just fucking written it myself, it would take me half the time. So I'm not saving any productivity. And I work in video. So like video is still a rough place for AI stuff because people like it can do like 3 to 5, maybe 7 seconds pretty well before shit gets weird and people start walking through furniture and like an extra hand sprouts out of their shoulder or they've got 7 fingers and shit like that. So I've been feeling okay because like the video aspect of it is not great. We just did a whole like pilot thing with a video thing and they decided not to go ahead with it because it's just not there. Yes. Called Fuck 'em. AI has made me feel like it lied. Yeah. The whole AI, that story it's a bit of a lie. It's a bit of a lie. And there's things that it can do for productivity. And I know there's some people who are like, no AI ever. I'm not that person because I do creative work, right? I work with video, but I also have to manage projects. And so that's the part of my job that I'm not as good at because I'm not thinking like, oh, I need to email this person and I need to give this update and I need to do all this kind of like organizational stuff and I need to update the notes and I need to. So like when we do Zoom calls, Zoom does AI meeting notes and they're fantastic. I never have to worry about forgetting shit anymore. It automatically sends them to your email. I just created a folder and I put them in there. And then if I need to read, if people are like, what happened to that meeting? I go to that folder and I look it up and I'm like, we decided on this. We decided on this. It gives you a record. If people have different memories of what happened in that meeting, which sometimes happens, then you can go back to the meeting and can be like, actually, we talked about this. The meeting notes are wonderful. I'm so glad because I'm old school. I got a paper and a pen and I'm like writing notes. And let me tell you, the times that I've had to go in and try to look at that scratchy writing and try to figure out what the fuck I was trying to say, it's bad. It's bad. So like AI meeting notes, fantastic. AI things that help your projects, like sending automatic reminders, like things that connect to your email, things that like do some of this like shit work. That's one of my favorite memes about AI that I've ever seen is I know I've become one of those people that just like my entire life is in memes, is that it said, I don't think they use the term AI. I think they used like technology maybe or whatever it was, but they're like, I wanted AI to wash the clothes. I wanted technology to wash the clothes and do the dishes so that I had more time to make art. I never wanted AI to make art so that I had more time to wash the clothes and do the dishes. And that's exactly how I feel about it. Like it should be, I'm never going to be fancy enough to have a personal assistant. That's what AI should do. AI should be my personal assistant and make sure that updates go out when they need to. They make sure I know what happened in meetings. They make sure that I've got a record of meetings. They make sure that I've got schedule updates so I know when I'm working. That's what AI should do. AI should be doing all this organizational bullshit that like takes up too much of my time so that I can do the creative stuff that AI cannot do. AI is garbage. It all looks the same. It's all like stolen from different places. There's ethical concerns. There's so many things wrong with it. And it's just not what people ever wanted. They never wanted this thing that was just going to spit out garbage. Now I do have some sympathy when people are like a small business. It's one person running a business and they're like, I don't know how to use Canva or I don't have Canva or whatever. And I can put this in. I'm not one of those people who's immediately going to just like run them through the ringer or whatever. I get it. But like a big company like Google should never use AI for art. There's no excuse for it. You've got the money to hire artists. You should never do it. Period. End of story. Even those smaller businesses, I'm at the point now where I would rather see like graphic design is my passion versus AI slop. Because the AI slop all looks the same. It's all like uncanny and a little bit weird. It's awful. It's awful and I hate it. In Project 2025, I may have tone this a while. I mentioned this a while back. There's a specific language about using deepfakes against citizens with AI being unregulated for 3. Exactly. All this kind of stuff, like it's so... In some ways, it's hard for people to know what's real anymore. Although also if they're paying attention, it's not that hard to know what's real anymore. Because some of these AI videos, once you know the kind of tells, they're so obvious. So I've talked about this before, like the weird animals jumping through windows and jumping on people, like a moose just jumping through a window and like all over. I mean, like the gravity doesn't make sense. Like there's no glass after he jumps through the window, and then he just like perfectly jumps back through. He jumps on a bed with a person in it, and there's no like nobody's hurt. The moose isn't hurt. The person isn't hurt, and it's like that moose weighs hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and just like jumped on the bed and jumped on this person, and then jumped out the window again. It's like, stop. I'm gonna eat another one of these ratatouille things. This was good, and I keep thinking about it, and so now I'm like, let's do it. There's a little like some kind of squash. God, these are good. I'm gonna put the other ones in the fridge because I'm so excited. One of these like cold out of the fridge. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. It's like a mukbang. Yeah, I despise AI art with the thing that I don't mind, and this is maybe controversial at the gig. I don't mind those AI things that, like when everybody was doing the new profile pic or whatever, which was like an early version where they would put in a bunch of, God, that was good. Where they would put in a bunch of pictures and then they would get like them from different historical time periods or like whatever. I don't mind those. And I don't mind those for several reasons. The reason why is because, so those things, because you could do, I don't know, because the one that I had, I don't know if it was called Lenza, and it was the one that like made new profile pic, where everything was marked like new profile pic. I think there was a way you could get a couple images for free, but most of the time, excuse me, now I'm gonna like spit out seeds and stuff. Most of the time, you would pay like, I think it was like $3 for 10 images, $7 for 50 images, and like $10 for 100 images. So it was something like sliding scale or whatever. And a lot of them were garbage. Do I have my phone here? Because I did that a couple times. And this was before I had developed some of my feelings about AI art and stuff like that. Some of them were absolutely garbage. Like they really were terrible. Let me see if I can find one, because I kept a lot of them I did delete because I was trying to clear out stuff on my phone. But and so let's see if I can find one of the, did I keep the like terrible ones, or did I think I deleted all the really terrible ones. I think they're still available through the app. But so I got some really terrible ones. I got a couple that were just absolutely disgusting, but I got some that were kind of fun, and they were fun to have like a little Instagram post or whatever. Because I think with things like this is that, number one, your friend who's not an influencer, not a YouTuber, not a whatever, they're playing with that app. And so artists who are like, you're stealing jobs. That person was never going to pay an artist to do a portrait of them. They never were. These people who are just going in because it's the new trend or whatever, they just want to try it out because it's hot and trendy or whatever. They were never going to buy a portrait from you. They were never going to buy a portrait of you. Then there are people, that app, yeah, like it was crazy. And I'm going to show you a couple of the ones that I have. I don't really post them as much anymore because it just becomes too much of a hassle. I've got a lot of artist friends who, like, they just get a little too a lot with me. And so I just don't, because the thing is, so those people who are not like influencers or whatever, but people like me, I think we have to get comfortable with the idea of throwaway art. And I know that that's like horrible to say or whatever, but like in this social media world, sometimes art isn't art. Sometimes art is content. And I know that artists, that's like nails on a chalkboard. And I'm sorry that that's true. But when you are trying to like live this social media like churn, if you're trying to like build a platform, you have to have content after content after content. That's why my Instagram has not grown. And in fact, I think I've lost like, I think I was at like 1580 and now I'm at like 1555. Like I have been in the 1500s for maybe a couple years. Like the growth on Instagram, it's nowhere, but it's constant. You have to have this constant. And I post a lot of my looks and stuff, but I don't paint my face every single day. And so if I can have something that creates an image that I can put up that's the Tuesday post, that's the Tuesday post. That didn't steal a job from anyone because I also pay artists. I do pay artists. I pay photographers. I pay photographers a lot of money. Most of the stuff that I have is like photography, but I also pay like artists to do. I have a friend, Alyssa, who did some like mashups of me. And it started with, I had mentioned on a live stream on Facebook that I would love for somebody to do a mashup of me, but as Barb from Stranger Things. And she was like, challenge accepted. And she did this like painting and sent it to me. And I thought it was so cute that then I was like, I commissioned her to do, she sent that one for free. And then I commissioned her to do me as Wonder Woman, me as Cheetah from the Wonder Woman comics, me as She-Ra, and me as Pizzazz. That was it. So there was 4 of them. We've always had throwaway art though, and I'm speaking as a creative type. I agree with that. Yeah, like there has to be some stuff, like there has to be some leeway for some of that, because I do believe we shouldn't be taking jobs from artists. And I buy just as much photography as I used to. Well, maybe a little bit less because I don't travel to horror conventions. So like I don't, and my photographer that used to live in town moved away. So like, but that has nothing to do with AI and like using that to fill in the gaps or whatever. It's just that I don't have as much access to photography as I used to. But I do still buy, like, especially if I'm out at conventions and I see an artist who does like little commissions and stuff, like Jellicoe. I love Jellicoe. I have a cute little Jellicoe that I got at Days of the Dead in Atlanta. So I still buy art, but sometimes I need this like throwaway stuff. And also the thing with this, so some of it is that it's never going to be as good. Like that's never going to be as good as like a real artist. That looks sort of like me, but not really like me. So this was just kind of fun because it's kind of like Alien Galaxy Star Janessa. And so that's kind of kooky and fun, but that's not something I would pay for. Like if somebody's making this kind of art, I was never going to buy from them anyway, because it's cute, but it's not me. It's not what I'm looking for. Polaroids, kitschy sculptural bottles, paper doilies, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But then there's things like, and I've tried, and sometimes I've posted some of these, because where is one that I got? Like this. So this one doesn't look terribly like me, I don't think. And I do think it's gross that it's got like a fake signature. That part gets me because that was clearly trained on something that was art that somebody had signed. So like I get the ethical kind of concerns or whatever. This doesn't look like me. But I have posted this picture and I have been like, if you know an artist that does art in this style, please tag me. Because I've gone like looking and I've never been able to find somebody that I think, I mean, obviously this was trained on somebody's style, but like, depending on the price, would I commission a portrait in this style? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Because I love this and I wish that it looked more like me. I think it's not terrible. Some of them are much worse, but like, I would love that. And so there's some of these like that I bought that I was like, this makes me wish that I could buy art. It gives me an idea that I hadn't even really maybe thought of. And a lot of it is these like very painterly ones like this. Again, it looks kind of like me, but not totally like me. But would I buy a portrait in this style? Absolutely. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is another one. This was like a group because I did the like 100 images for 10. Like I was like, if we're gonna do it, I know some of them are gonna be garbage. Let's do the like $10 for 100. And like this was one of the groups that was like, I don't know, watercolor or whatever. And there's several in here that I'm like, if an artist had painted this for me, I would 100% pay for this. And so I've gone out looking and I just haven't found anybody. I mean, I found people who do like watercolors and they do that kind of stuff, but not who do like portraits, like who do, and especially like digital portraits that I can use. because like, yes, I have some art that I have like in my house or I have in my office that's like physical, like the Barb. Oh my God, that Barb, I will treasure that forever. I love that so much. And she had made a couple things. Like I met her because she was coming to drag shows in Bismarck, and she brought me, the first time I met her, she was like, and she was so cute because she's like, I hope you don't mind. And I was like, you made like art of me? Why would I ever mind? If there are people who mind about that kind of things, you're terrible people. Like, you shouldn't do that. If somebody takes the time to like try to create your likeness, and she created me this picture, and then she created me and so that was the first time I ever met her, and I was like, this is lovely. And then the next time I saw her, she created another one. She gave me another one. And then I just kind of like, I just got to know her, and she's so lovely. And so when she saw that live stream and made me as Barb, and then I was like, this is a great idea. Like, I want to see Janessa as these different characters. And she made them for me, and I love that. So like, if I could find somebody who did, now obviously I also have to be smart with my money, which is a dumb thing for me to say because I'm never smart with my money. But like something like this, there are some things that are just going to be like, I can't find anybody to make that. Like, I would pay for this kind of style, but I can't for one portrait. That's another reason why, like, in terms of the throwaway art, like if this is just going to be an Instagram post, oh God, why is he chatting me? If I'm just going to put this up as like an Instagram post on a Tuesday, like I couldn't pay $300 for this. And it's not that I'm not willing to pay $300 for a piece of art, but the more expensive it becomes, the more thoughtful I have to be. Because again, it's all, I'm not only a consumer, I'm also my own sort of like business content creator, brand. I hate that, whatever it is. But like, so I have to think about, okay, so like something like this that's, you know, $30, $50, that's going to be a different story than something that's $300. If I'm going to pay for something that's $300, then I need to think about, okay, what can I do with this? Can I turn it into merch? Can I turn it into t-shirts? Can I turn it into, you know, other things that I might be able to do through a merch site or whatever? Is there something, can I use this not only for my own, like to have a beautiful picture, can I use this on show posters? Like, is it something, because some pieces like this would not make sense on a show poster. Nobody wants to come to a show that's got this because they're like, you're a piece of art, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? That they want like photographs, right? That's why I pay so much more for photography than I do for like art. I love the art, but most of the art for me, because I've never been a merch queen. I wish I could do it. I've tried little different things where I've done little bits of merch. It doesn't go well. Like the fan base that I have cultivated loves me, but not enough to buy shit. I wish I could sell shit. The one piece of merch that I do every year is I do my calendars, and like I break even. Like, and I only break even if I consider like what I pay for the calendars and for shipping. If you factored in the photography, forget about it. Like I will never break even on that. But if you consider just like, this is how much I pay for calendars, and like I've got enough of a little bit, because calendars are fucking expensive. So I buy them at the cheapest discount that I can get. And then like I put a little bit on for the shipping to cover that or whatever. And like by the time I take out a couple, because there's a couple people I send to for free, like Teresa's Dead here on YouTube. Every year I send her a calendar because I adore her. She's fabulous. She features them in her like PO box videos if they come at the right time. And so I'm just like, I adore her. I know that she and I have similar loves of like horror movies and stuff. And she's always been very complimentary, and I enjoy her. So I send her one for free. There's usually one or two other kind of influencer-y people that I send to for free. And then I sell the rest. And the ones that I sell, the little bit of markup that I have covers, and I keep one for myself usually. And so like it pays for the few, like 3 or 4 free calendars that I give out to people. So I literally don't make any money on those calendars. That's the one merch thing. I've never cultivated. The one time I've been able to sell merch was a few years ago when that awful group Protect North Dakota Kids showed up. There was a little tomato skin or something. So classy. We did a line of like charity merch through like Teespring or whatever it's called. Where you could order, it was like print to order, right? Because that's the other thing, is if I'm going to do merch, like the thought of having to like keep inventory, oh God, shoot me in the head. Like if I can do it through something like Teespring, whatever. And so we did a line of like charity products where whatever the markup was, it automatically went back to Dakota Outright, the group that fired me. So that's a whole other can of worms. But that's the only time I've been able to move any sort of merch. And we didn't even make that much. We made like, I think $300, like of the markup. So it was more than that. Like the sales were more than that. But I think of the like, every t-shirt we would make $6. If you got a sticker, we would make $1. Like it was not. So we did sell quite a few products because it wasn't a ton of. I didn't want to mark it up like a huge amount. And so we made, I think, like $300 for Dakota Outright when that awful group was around. And so, so I've never been able to sell merch. I've tried it. I've never been good at it. It's never worked out. Like that's just not the. It's not the crowd that I have. I'm going to go print on demand. I love that. The other ways are just too much for me. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And so I just think that. So, and I do think that I would like to have like a print on demand merch store at some point. If people do want like a t-shirt or whatever. Now, Teespring was okay, but it wasn't great. The quality of the printing on the t-shirts was questionable. But we had some cute designs. Hello, Allison, Retro Toy Princess. We adore you. Yeah, the merch that we had. So we had fun. We had hashtag. And this is now everybody does FAFO for fuck around, find out. But I was like, I'm such a stickler that I'm like, if you say fuck around and find out, there needs to be 2 A's. So we had a t-shirt that was hashtag FAAFO, which was fuck around and find out. And so we had another one that was this was my favorite. So this guy was like a religious nutter, and it was when all the drag bands first started, where they were targeting drag shows, but they were also kind of low-key trying to use them to like police trans people in public, and it's this whole thing. And so but we like took over that page. Like the queers in North Dakota, they would post something and they would get like 2 likes or whatever from regular people, and then all the queers would jump on and just like lambaste them for comment after comment after comment. And like it got to the point, and so they didn't want to turn comments off because they wanted the nutters to come on there. But then we started like monitoring the group. It became a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And so like one of the things that they did was they posted this picture of garden hose, like a whole bunch of them. And they were talking about the woman who organized the drag brunch that they were all mad about, the all ages drag brunch. And then there was an all ages kind of like out on the Capitol steps thing. But they were talking about Stacy, and then they were saying that like, we will not be deterred by a spiritual Jezebel and her army of angry hoes. And I was like, those things need to go on t-shirts immediately. Absolutely immediately. So we had one that was like a tattoo. Somebody made us like a tattoo font that said spiritual Jezebel design. And then we had one that we took the picture that he posted of the garden hose, and somebody put little like angry emoji faces on them. And then it said angry hose at the top. That was I still have that in the closet somewhere. I think the fuck around and find out became my painting t-shirt. And so that one I think I finally threw away because it was getting pretty ratty and nasty. But I think I still have the angry hose. And that was so funny. And you could get the angry hose with just the picture of the hose with the faces on them, or you could get it saying angry hose at the top. Oh my God. But spiritual Jezebel and the way that we cackled when her spiritual Jezebel and her army of angry hoes. Oh my God. That's one of the funniest things I have ever read in my life. I was just like, I was like, thank you. They like made the best thing. And my friend Alyssa, who made the like mashups and stuff, I also commissioned her to make a piece of art that we used for a lot of the comments and stuff, because we kept like, people were angry and they were posting their stuff, but we also came back with like very specific things, because they started by like doxing performers. And so for the drag brunch that we were having, and then for something that was happening in Fargo, they started posting people's like pictures in and out of drag. They would go on Facebook and find these pictures or whatever. But then they started posting also like personal information. And the first couple, before somebody told them like, hey, you could get in legal trouble for this. So mine and then another drag performer named Cara Fiera, our posts had like personal like contact information. And so I started getting like death threats through email, and something happened at Kara's work. Like, I don't know if somebody called in a bomb threat. I forget exactly what happened, but like shit went down, and like we were like documenting all of it. So they went back and edited the post to take out the ones that had the contact information. And then they didn't go that far with the later posts, but the first two had all that information and like led to this big problem. But so we would like go on, and there was a lot of times there was like a specific kind of message, because we would say, we don't know who owns it, who runs it, who operates the Facebook page. You've provided no information about who the leadership is of this. Is it a group? Is there a board? Like what? And they just would not. So like we just kept hammering the point. Every time they would make a post, we would be like, there is no transparency. This group cannot be trusted. Who is your, like, who leads this group? Who owns it? Who funds it? And so we kept doing all that. And so we made a graphic to post with it. And my friend Alyssa did this. And oh my God, I wonder if I still have that. And because I loved it, because what we did is, because it was called Protect North Dakota Kids. So what we did to kind of play off of that is I had her do, like, it was kind of a dark background, and it was like a white windowless van that the door was open and like it was dark inside. And then there's like a speech bubble that comes out that's like, we got to protect these kids. Like, because we were trying to put out the thing of like, we don't know who these people are. And like the stuff that they were doing, they came to Pride and like took pictures of people's children without their parents' knowledge or consent and posted it on their Facebook page. So like all kinds of weird shit that they should not be doing. The people who came in eventually all got kicked out because they were so creepy and doing such weird shit. Let's see, is it in here? Yes. Oh, because also the top of their Facebook page had a Bible verse that said, expose darkness with the light of truth, Ephesians 5:11. So this is the piece of art that my friend Alyssa made for us. I know it's kind of reflective and not perfect, but I loved this. I thought this was so perfect, where it's like in the trees, like in the darkness, and it's got their Bible verse that they used. And then it's this van. It's like, we got to protect these kids. Listen, bitch, you can call me LaToya Jackson's psychic friend, because since that whole thing kind of died out, that group has kind of died out. I think it's still out there, but I should check it again to see if it's active. But the last time I was there hadn't been a post in months or whatever. But there have been 2 that I know of, and I think a third, and maybe more now, because like I said, I stopped monitoring it. There was something I thought about doing, and we'll talk about that in a second. But there have been 2 people, and possibly a third, who were active members of that group, like active commenters and likers and all of that, who were like fans of that group, who have been arrested on child sexual abuse charges. So this little artwork that we had turned out to be a little bit of a prediction, because every accusation is a confession. And so what I thought about doing, and I did go in and take a bunch of screenshots, because when it first started going, all of the nutters came out and were all like commenting. And there was one, Michelle something, and she clearly was one of the people who had like helped set up the group or whatever. And she was always commenting. And we looked into her, and she worked for the Dakota Boys and Girls Ranch, which is like a at-risk use, at-risk youth center. Like delinquents have to go there and live, and they do all this like rehabilitation and all this kind of stuff. Delinquents is maybe not the right word. Leave me alone. It's late. I'm tired. I could have said that better, but I didn't. But just know that it's that kind of place, right? Like it's like a rehabilitation / juvie / charitable thing. Well, she worked for them, and so I certainly took screenshots of all these different things, and I reached out and I was like, do you know that one of your staff members, I was like, this is what they're doing on Facebook. They are reaching out, and like they sent me a thing back saying, oh, we'll look into it. I don't think anything ever happened, but let me tell you that Michelle, she stopped posting, and she deleted a lot of her comments that were on there. She made her Facebook posts, like her Facebook page, private to friends only. Because we already had the screenshots. We had already emailed. And so like she tried to shut it down, but we had already like sent it and been like, you want to explain this? You want to explain why this woman who's saying these things works with at-risk youth? Like, help me understand. Let me understand how this happens. And I wish that bitch had gotten fired. I really wish, because I did that right after I got doxxed, and like I said, the first death threat came in, and I was like, I'm not going to be the only one. I'm not going to be the only one having trouble from this. And so I turned into a liberal Karen so fast, where I was like, screenshot, employer, tell me more about this. Help me understand. I'm such a like corporate drone now that I have all the like corporate language. So I was like, help me understand how this is appropriate for someone who works with your at-risk youth. But I've thought about going into that group and like taking screenshots. And at one point I did build up, and I probably still have them somewhere, but I'm not very good at like online detective work. Some people can go on Google and they find everything. I find nothing. I wish I were better at this, because I was like, I want to go in and find the people who are commenting a lot and commenting all the time. And I want to like research those people and find out like what kind of stuff, like what kind of court cases have they had? What kind of charges have been filed? If you need help, I will look you up, because I'm terrible at it. I can't even like find myself on Google sometimes. I'll like Google to try, because I'll be like, I wrote an article for this publication a few years ago, and I try to find it, and I just like, I can't even find myself. I'm the worst. I'm going to go to Facebook. Since we're here, I always forget that since I'm sitting right at a computer. Let me see. Let me see. Protect ND kids, I think is what it was. Oh, not protect. Protect. Including results. Oh, it's spelled out. So there's one that I posted. Oh, Protect North Dakota Kids. Okay. Starting a new series exposing the drag queens that are coming to correct the youth of Fargo this Sunday. Yep. So that's let's see what's going on. Okay. So 639 followers, 30 following. The last post was January 8th, 2024. And so, yeah, because they would put something, and immediately it was just taken over by queer folks. Yeah, so there's all this kind of stuff. Yeah, 2024. But I've thought about going in here and just like grabbing like all the names of the like frequent commenters, and I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous and heinous, and like wanting and finding all this stuff out and just finding out who these people are. Doom. Sorry, now I'm looking at Facebook. I got pulled into Facebook, but because people are posting about our show that we had tonight. So yes, tonight was night 2. Yeah, I might let you know, Allison, because I'm still bitter about that. And now that I've gotten fired by Dakota Outright, part of me wants to just go scorched earth and be like, you want to see too political? Let's do this. Let's really make the Republicans angry. But yeah, so tonight was our second night of Uncle Louie's Big Sad Funeral. This was not my funeral dress. This was my going out to the tap room dress. So that's why I painted my my eyes a little bit more teal with some blue notes, just because I knew I was going to have this dress that it looks kind of black, but these are actually like a dark blue, like a couple different shades of blue in the like on top of this kind of beigey brown. But yeah, so we had our second night, and tonight I won. I survived until the end of all the like beneficiaries, but then Uncle Louie revealed that he was alive, and so I didn't get my money. Doom. But that's what I would do. So then because I was trying to like set it up so they would they would be like, oh, when we got to the will reading. Because basically what would happen is it started where there was like people could come up and view the body. And this local celebrity who is fabulous, his name is Terry Doolum. He used to be on the news station, WDAZ, I think is the one that was up here. And so he used to do a bunch of stuff. He had this little segment called the Doolum Files. And I have actually done a few shows with Terry Doolum. This time he was my first love back in Sicily. There was a show where he played my father. There was a show where I think he played my something else. Like, I don't know if he was like my boss or I feel like there was something else where he played some. So we've had all kinds of relationships. But yeah, so Terry Doolum, I adore him and his wife, Jenny. They're so lovely. And so he was Uncle Louie, and he has passed away. And so people would come up and they could view the body. And they got this like casket, like a real casket. And he laid, for the first part of the show, he just laid there with sunglasses on. And he was the body, and they would come up and say hello, and people could fake weep. People got into it. That's what I loved. When you do these kind of immersive things, if people buy into it and they like play along, it can be so much fun. And so they would come up and like weep and mourn and all this kind of stuff. And then we started the funeral service, and the funeral service, you know, people would come up and say words about him. Like my friend Patty is his daughter. My friend Tony was his son. You know, they're all my friends. I don't know why I have to say that. Like, all the people in the cast are my friends. I adore them. And so they would come. So like people played his daughter. The woman who directed it, she was like his sister, and all this kind of stuff. And then they're all saying their little pieces. It's kind of like the eulogy part. And then they're going to wrap that part up. And all of a sudden I enter with this guy who played my son, Luciano. And so we show up and we're like, we'd like to say a few words. And that's where I reveal that he was my first love. And this is, so my favorite joke, let me tell you my joke. Because I was like, I hope people like it. I hope people get it. And I hope they like get the spirit. And I don't know if I've ever heard something like this, because I think some of it, I'm sure it's probably influenced from something I heard somewhere. But I was like, this was my favorite part of the show every night, was when I would do my little eulogy before I revealed that Luciano was Louie's firstborn son, that we had an affair when we were young under the lemon trees in Sicily. And so my favorite joke was, Louie Lucino was a fantastic lover. He knew how to make a girl feel like a woman, and that woman feel like a slut, and that slut feel like a lady. And that was like, and it always got giggles or whatever, so I love it. You'll wear a black armband for Louie since you couldn't make the service. Yes, please do. Please do. And so we would do this whole thing, and then we would break, because it would be like, oh, who is this Contessa? It's crazy. We don't know what to do. So let's go have some refreshments while we gather ourselves or whatever. And so then we would go out. So during that intermission, then what I would do is I bought this deck of tarot cards. I collect tarot cards. I've read tarot cards for like 30 years. And but I bought this deck of tarot cards that they're like little pieces of plastic. They're too slick, and they're not like a coated paper. They're literally like plastic. And so I was like, I got them for like $10 from my friend Janine's shop. And I was like, they're very beautiful. But I was like, I can't use these. I don't want to keep these. So I was like, I'm going to give them out. That'll be like another little like thing where and so what I did was I walked around to people and I would be like, oh, you have a very strong aura. I'm getting an emanation from you. And I would just start talking to them, and I'd be like, let's see what the fates have. And I would pull out a card, and no matter what the card was, I would tell them that they were doomed. And so basically I would say, oh, the 10 of Cups, I see a celebration. Oh, but we are at a funeral. Oh, this is not good. It tells me that if you try to get any money from Louie Lucino's estate, you're doomed. Doomed. And I would do that. And so that was my shtick. And so for the full like 20, 25, 30 minutes, whatever that the intermission was, that's what I did. Is I just walked around from table to table and would like get an emanation from somebody and do like pull a card and find some way to make it that if you got any sort of unexpected financial windfall, it would be your doom. And it was doom. And so then when I would see people, like if I was walking somewhere and I saw somebody that I had already given a card to, I would be like, doom. And so that was kind of my shtick. And then the first night I did get killed. Tonight I didn't get killed. I made it to the end. But the first night I got killed. And then I had tucked the death card into my glove. And so that was what, because your death scene in this whole thing was that you were supposed to announce how you died, like how you died. And so I didn't like give specifics. I just was like, I just pulled out the death card and I was like, oh, the death card, doom has come for me. And then, like, as part of my thing, I was like, my final confession, Luciano is not my son. He is a cheap rent boy that I found in the French Riviera. And so I just like, I had this, it was a fun little moment. And yeah, so it was kooky. It was a kooky show. It was, you know, one of those little, let's do it for 2 nights and then be done. And it was a fun fundraiser. I think we're closing in on, or maybe went a little bit over $3,000 for the Empire. So that's nothing to sniff at. So it was a good time. We're very excited. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Okay, it's 2:01. That's earlier than I thought it was. I mean, it's still 2:01. All right. And Dawn, I see Dawn sent me something with AI. Ever since I've started complaining about AI, Dawn, every once in a while, be like, I know you don't like AI, but I thought this was funny. And so that's all right, Dawn, if you want to send me AI. I cannot believe, like, if you see those dumb cat videos, meow, 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 meow. And now they've started to talk. And now instead of cats and animals, it's like vegetables and objects. And like one of them is like, there was one I saw where it was like she was like menstrual blood, and she was in a relationship with Urino, who was piss. But then he was hooking up with, I mean, shit, I don't remember what her name was, but she was literally like the poop emoji as like a buxom woman. And they have these weird, like, people are always getting killed. And I was like, this is the AI that's going to revolutionize my life. This meow, 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 meow. That's what's going to revolutionize my life. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is it. This is the thing. I cannot. It makes my brain hurt because I'm like, who even takes the time to make these? Like, what is the point? And like with the cat ones, they were always like, there would be some like cat parent who suddenly didn't like their baby and would like put them in the soup and then feed the soup to like their husband. And he'd be like, no. And then the police would come and she'd go away, and then she'd become a lesbian in jail. And then they'd get out and kill the husband. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, what purpose does this serve? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I was like, I can't, it's so dumb. It's not even like cheesy humor or whatever. It's not even funny. Like, there's nothing about it that is funny or entertaining, or I just watch it and I'm just like, I feel like and I shouldn't watch it. That's the thing, because that's the problem, is the algorithm decides that if you watch one video, that's your personality now. So I should just turn them off. But sometimes I'm just like, what? I'm like, who even thought of this? Like, who thought of it? And then for a while, there was all of these weird, like, bisexual threesome ones where, like, some lady cat would get in bed with 2 men, and then the 2 men would start kissing without her, but then she would be pregnant, and then you'd have to wait and find out which one the baby looked like. And I was just like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, what better? Like, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, how much water was wasted in making that bullshit? Like, that's where I get super mad. Like, I'm not going to get mad about somebody because they use ChatGPT to write an email for them. I was an English major. I can write my own fucking emails. Thank you very much. Some people don't have that skill. That's fine. I'm fine with that. If you want to use it to write an email, it's not going to break my heart. Like, maybe think about moderation, or like, when is it important to use that? But I'm not going to get mad about somebody because there's somebody Probably in India, because some of them, if they don't have the meow, 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 they have this like super loud, like Indian Bollywood music in the background. There's somebody who's making that. That's the part where I'm like, that used way more water and way more time and energy and effort, I guess, than somebody writing an email with ChatGPT. Like I'm like, we need to have some limitations. There needs to be. And the thing is that nobody's making money with this. And I think the bubble's going to burst when they start trying to charge for it. Because, like, that's the thing is, like, okay, like, yeah, I paid a little bit of money for those AI portraits. But I was like, it was $10. If you try to charge, like, a subscription to some of these things, I mean, maybe there are some people who just are so, they're so, like, dependent on ChatGPT for writing their stuff that maybe they would sign up for a membership. I don't think they would. I thought this was kind of cool. So I've gone, oh, what did I do? I've accidentally. So this one, no, what am I doing? I'm messing things up here. I'm trying to make it so it's got the black background. There we go. So this is one that came from that Lensa app. Again, it looks sort of like me, and I do appreciate it that it gave me the Beyonce-fication treatment of my body and double chins. So I do love that. Hello, Janet. How's it going? We're wrapping up, but we're talking about AI. And so, like, this is one that I just thought was kind of fun. I just thought that was kind of cool. Because it came in a group of images of 100 for $10. Yeah, I may be willing to pay for that. But, like, there's a ceiling on this, and I don't think it's as high as people think. I don't think that people are, because people who weren't very good at writing still had to write emails before AI came around. So, like, those people will figure it out the way that they figured it out before ChatGPT. So look at that. I would pay for something in that style. That one's a little bit closer to me. Like, some of them not so great. Oh, I'm sorry that nightmare doll is staring at you. I just realized that was in the reflection when I turned it on black. Let me explain. Let me explain. You might not have even noticed this. So this is sitting up above my computer. This little, she's kind of creepy looking. I get it that she's kind of creepy looking. My grandma got this for me because I think she found it at a rummage sale or something. And the reason why she got it for me, because she saw it, because it says, I love you. And when I was a little kid, there was this older woman who was one of the people in town. I mean, I grew up in a really small town, like 450 people. And her name was Doris Bazell. And I used to love going to visit. Her husband's name was Dom and Doris. And I would go and visit them. And I just loved her. Doris and I was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. I visited her as I got older too. But like when I was younger and had a little bit of a speech impediment, maybe, we got on like a house on fire. And I would say, I love you, Doris. And so when my grandma saw this, she remembered that I used to always say, I love you, Doris. And so she got me this little cutie who's a little bit creepy. She and I have the same haircut. I didn't even notice. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing. I've still got the body shaper, so I'm not gonna laugh like that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, stop. I can't breathe. I have to put her away. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Calm. Don't look at her. Don't look at her till you get it under control. Just don't do it. Don't look at her. Oh my god. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, now she's looking at, well, she's a little bit like looking up in the stars, but oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. All of that, I was showing you some of the weird AI portraits, and these, like I said, are from a couple years ago. And some of them, because then they made them for Instagram, and that was when Instagram was still squares. And so like this had been bigger, and then when I downloaded them, it cut them all into like Instagram size squares. So there was more of the lips and a little bit more of the hair in the original image, but that's all you could download. Like if I could find somebody that like made portraits like this, that would be something I would consider buying. And then there's some where it's just like, okay, this was fun to do as an experiment, but then it turns out like that. Like that's not necessarily. I've got one wonky eye, but it got my like chola lip down, like the dark lip liner. Yes, Janet, you got here right at the right time. Oh my gosh. And then this was another one of those weird like spacey alien. Oh yeah, it's even changing the lighting, which is kind of fun. Like this looks a little bit more lifelike. It doesn't look entirely unlike me, but it's not great. Yeah, see, like that's kind of fun. Like I get why people thought this was fun. And I also like, again, some of these things, like if I could find somebody to do a portrait like that, like this one is kind of fun and kind of punky and like 80s new wave, kind of like Susie and the Banshees, the B-52s, like Rock Lobster. Like I would love it if I could find somebody who did stuff like that. And so the fact that I can just like find, but that, and like some of them are not great. Like that one is definitely not very lifelike. It's not very like me, but it's a little questionable. This is another one. This doesn't look like me, but like this style I think is beautiful. And I don't know what the hell those things are supposed to be on the side. So like if I could find somebody that does this kind of style, but make it actually look like me, I appreciate that they think I'm a skinny legend, but like I'm not. And so like this is not very accurate to me. But if I could find something like that, I would do it. They look almost like little like fingernails. I don't know what that shit on the side is supposed to be. It's weird. I thought it was maybe supposed to be like pastels or like crayons or something, but the more I look at it, I'm like, it kind of looks like the tips of fingers, but like weird and creepy. This one I thought was great. This, I think, like, because some of the ones that I put in as like sample pictures, I didn't have a wig on, and so like that I thought turned out kind of cute. I would do some, I would pay for some art look like that. Yeah, how cute is that? Yeah, somebody's jacked fingers. Yeah. Yeah, AI never gives you normal fingers. There are some, I deleted all of the bad. I should see if I can log into it. Well, not all of the bad ones. Oh, Jesus. So this is like a lot of the bad things with AI all in one place, because look at how the eyes are sort of wonkily staring off into the distance, and the one on this side maybe has some like cataract issues. And then like there's sort of words, but they're not actually words. Luckily, I do only have the four fingers showing, but it looks like there's another finger, like there's space for another finger. And so like this is one of the bad ones. And that's not even one of the worst ones. I don't know why I kept that one, but just because it was one of these like, and like this is fun. Like I love this style, but look at how fucking cross-eyed. Look at how cross-eyed I am in that picture. I think that's great. I'm so cross-eyed in that picture. But like if I could find somebody who did art like this, like that's the thing, is like this inspired me to try to find art that looked like this by real people. Because this was before. Now I feel like so much of the art looks the same and it's got this weird kind of quality to it. That's super cute. I would love to look like that. But yeah, so I think that, there's just, some of this style of art, whatever this was in the app, there were a bunch of these that I was like, if I could find somebody who did this, I would totally do some of this. Like I would totally buy art like that. of me. Of me, not just art like that, but art of me like that. It is all to feed the ego. This is really pretty, but doesn't look entirely like. Let me see if I can log into that app. Let me see if I even still have it on my phone. I think I kept it on my phone because I was like, well, I can always log in again and download the other ugly ones, but I was like, I should save the room on my phone. Update is available. Don't care. Where's my magic avatars? I mean, they're still going. It's still operational. So where are my... Where are the ones that I bought previously? You always told me that I could come back and get my avatars. Where are they? Oh, you better not have gotten rid of my... They still have 2 photos because you could also like put in photos and try to make little changes. And I tried to change the color of my wigs. And there were 2 varying degrees of success. Obviously, this one had a little bit of a success where I put in a picture and it did actually change. Oh, now it's trying to edit again. So it's giving that. No, stop it. But then there was this one that clearly did not work out. It changed some of the hair, but not all of it. And so there it goes back to the original picture, but the green. Oh, it always told me that I could come back and get my old... Did they lie to me? An AI company lie? Are you kidding? Oh, where are my settings? Where are... Okay, so the update. Sign in or create a free account. Back on rate. Delete my data. Do not share. Oh, they're gone. I'll have to look on Facebook and see if I can find them because there was one that is so creepy. It is so creepy. And I finally decided to get rid of it off my phone because I was like, I need the room or whatever. But like, what's new? Where is it? I bought those. I should have them. I'm so mad about this. Oh, and now it changed the pictures back. So now the pictures in the gallery are back to just like this whole... What a bummer. Oh, I'm sad that I deleted those because I was like, I want to be able to come back here and get these awful ones. Fresh avatars. No, I don't want anything new from you. I mean, it's been a couple years, so I shouldn't be surprised if they've expunged my data, but I'm a little sad because they're like, you can always get them here, and they did not mean it. Don't like the results. Everything else. The app didn't find a face in the picture. Where's detected? Why subscribe? The trial cancellation refund. Purchase problems. I purchased avatars by the pack. I purchased avatars, but the pack isn't displayed. Why? Please go to the Magic Avatar screen via the yellow button at the bottom of the main gallery Lensa section. This section displays all of your avatars, including those in the process. So if I go, is this content me just sitting here trying to figure out how to use this app? So go to the Magic Avatars, but now I can't read the instructions. Go to the Magic Avatar screen via the yellow button at the bottom of the main gallery. This section displays all your avatars, including those in the process. Writing sometimes the time may be increased. You see the packs. Item already owned. Purchase, item already owned. I have a problem with payment, self-questions. Yeah. Don't like the result. What's that? I don't like the processing results. Still have questions? Since it's already been generated, you're screwed, is basically what they're saying. So yeah, I go to the Magic Avatars, and it doesn't have my old avatars here. It's showing me all the different options, and it's all couple options now. Why is it showing me you can't be single and get an AI avatar? Now it's got to be a 2-for-1? Like, what's that about? It's saying, like, you got to click on it. Continue. No, now it's, like, asking me to buy. Okay. Sorry for that little distraction. Sorry. I'm going to have to find that because I know I posted at one point. I was like, this is the worst that can happen. So I think I'm going to have to try to find that because it was horrific. There was one that was so uncanny valley. Oh, God, it was terrible. Let me see if there's any of these other images that I want to show you. This one was kind of fun. I was like, here I look like a Clue villain. I was like, it doesn't really look like me, but I wouldn't pay for somebody to paint this because it doesn't look like me. But I was like, this is like me sort of turned into something crazy. Now, again, the fingers are fucked up. You can see that. There's whatever she's holding. Or no, it looks like she's holding the signature, but the weird signatures on there. It looked like she had like some sort of glass that broke or something. The eyes are weird. Well, I've got one lazy eye that goes off to the side. But I like the idea of this, but again, it's not. So yeah, so these obviously, and now I know that they don't save them like they told me they were going to. So I wouldn't do that again. Look at this one where I've got green blush. How fun is that? That's kind of cute. That's sort of like me. But yeah, so I need to remember which of these that I really liked, and I need to try harder to find artists to kind of recreate these, because I did get some like fun stuff that I thought looked really cool. Like this one. Look at how cool that is. And that looks sort of like me on a good day. I want art in the style of or this one. I look like a villainess. I look like Elizabeth Taylor in that White Diamonds ad where she comes by and pulls off her earrings and like, these have always brought me luck. That's what I feel like I look like here. I'm doing a perfume ad for Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, I want art that looks like that. So if people know artists that do these more like, look at this like foxy brown afro look. How cute is that? The big curly hair. I wear big curly wigs. I wear big fun wigs. I want art that looks like that. I want something that's more, this kind of watercolory, I don't know, just loose, kind of fun. Like that's the kind of artwork that I want. Because I feel like I've got a lot of photography. I've got a lot of kind of cartoony mashup fun things. Although I am thinking about like messaging Alyssa to see if I can get some more mashups. Because like I said, I've got Wonder Woman and Cheetah. I've got She-Ra and Pizzazz. But I could be Gem too. Why don't I have a Gem? I think that could be fun. But yeah, so we'll see. So I hope everybody's having a good night. We've still got a few people hanging out. We've got our late night people. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for indulging my insane laugh when I realized that I have the same haircut as this creepy little ceramic figure. I love you. I love you, Doris. I did love Doris. Doris was very lovely. She was very sweet to me. Always. I did like, when I was a little kid, I liked old people. I don't know what it was. There was this couple, Carl and Hazel, that had a trailer a few houses down, and I would go and visit them. And their house looked like a 70s thrift shop. Like there were so many weird knickknacks, and I loved it. I was all about it. I loved going over to Doris's, Dom and Doris's. It was just, I loved it. I just liked old people. I was here for it. Oh, yeah. So that's what's going on. Let's see if I can remember my outro so I can let everybody get back to bed and I can take a shower and wash this weird mop of hair. This haircut, I like to play with it when it's kind of weird and loopy because it just does weird things. And I can get this makeup out of the side of my head. And all that kind of stuff. I hope everybody's doing well. If you are here in the chat, I would love it if you would circle back around and help me feed Seymour. Feed me, Seymour. Feed the beast. Feed the algorithm. Leave me a comment. Replay Crew You Rocks, and make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts down below as well. While you are down there, don't forget you can give me that thumbs up to tell me that you like this. Or if you are like, girl, that little figurine is so creepy, get it off my screen, go ahead and give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Switch the notifications to all so you get notified every time I do an upload. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week. You've been lucky. Between yesterday and today, I had 2 lives a day. So we've had a lot. But I try to have at least one video or live per week. And sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, Mohawkerific. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website. Just pretend it's there. The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I love these late night chats. I'm glad that some of you decide to stay up late. The replay crew, obviously, we love you too. It's so much fun, and I'm glad that we got to hang out a little bit. I'm glad you got to see the gloriousness of this crazy hair. I am thinking about dyeing it a funny color. I need to bleach it again, and so to take care of these awful roots. But I do have some colors in my bathroom, so I'm thinking about doing a fun color. Because I don't know if this, like, although once it's cut, I do like it. But as it grows out, I really start to hate it. But I do, as it, like this right now, I'm feeling it. It's weird and I'm feeling it. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, all that's a distraction. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in, for watching. I love and appreciate all of you. And until I see you again, bye. And the awkward end of the stream. Okay, do that and then end. Bye.